Are we live?
Yep.
Are we good? Okay,
Yeah, we're live.
Well, hello there, and welcome one and all to another episode of A Tale of Dice, where we are here gathered today to continue the adventures of the pack.
Minus
the pack
one.
member. Minus one, yes. Charlie,
Minus Melo.
yeah, we did. Charlie, I believe that you had some information about the whereabouts of our lovely Crystal, who is not with us today.
Yes, so as you guys noticed, I wasn't here last week. That was because I went on a hunger strike. I
Right.
wanted better feats per level.
Mm-hmm.
Wouter acquiesced to my demands.
Eventually,
and
yes.
I finished hunger striking, and I was very hungry. So I ate Crystal. I'm sorry. She was a snack, though. No, but
Fair. We always joked about eating Melo, but
Yeah,
after
but
all, we
eventually
ate
Crystal. All right.
well, apparently we were projecting my real world needs. But you know, I got my drinks, I got my dice, so I'm back in the game, baby. We don't need Crystal.
Yeah,
And,
next week we'll see who is going to fill in for Crystal after that to continue the story of Hannah. But until then, we will be just the four of us here playing this lovely game.
Just for people to be aware, she's ill. Like,
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
she's ill.
She's down with the weather, it seems. Although I gotta say, like the days are already getting longer.
Yeah.
Like normally every
Better
time
for me.
I wake up it's still dark, but now
It's getting
getting
a
a
bit
lot
better.
better.
It's still windy, but she's still down with the sickness.
yeah, and she's still down
I'm
with the
afraid.
sickness.
Yeah.
Indeed,
I can't
indeed.
wait for it to be summer again. Put on my hot pants, you know, get back into the.
I was gonna say that I can't wait for summer again, but now I'm kind of I have my
We're
doubts.
getting her doubts. We're getting her doubts. So
I have a confused boner. I'm not sure why.
well then. Next to that, I do believe that we also have another sponsor this week, Maxim.
Yeah.
Isn't that right? Can you tell us something about that?
Yeah, we do know him already, and it's just his face this time. It's Llama's emotes, because we do have emotes now on Twitch.
Oh yes.
Yeah, and you can have an emote of a llama. Our llama. It's the llama.
Hey,
I have
beautiful.
no clue where Lama is, but
No.
He's
hiding.
making bank from
Yeah,
Twitch
yeah,
emotes,
he's spending
most
all that
definitely.
emote money.
Yeah.
That's what he's doing. Beautiful.
So yeah, if you subscribe to us on Twitch, use the llama emote. Show your love
And,
to the llama.
and in a bit we're also looking at adding a very nice meme picture of Crystal's face.
Yeah.
That one is perfect.
coming next, that one's
And
coming
that
next.
one's definitely coming next. Yeah.
Like slowly but surely we're getting more legit with this whole streaming thing. Like we already had Maximus over here check out our sound, and I do
Yeah.
believe that once again we are pretty okay right now.
I
Like
hope
in-
so.
In the past we had some problems with cracking.
I'm still listening. I think I missed the sound of like a giant map with spells on the table.
Oh right, yes, that is a problem.
But aside from that, it's fine. It's fine.
We fixed our lighting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's something.
We fixed our actual lighting. So.
Oh my.
Yep. So you're blinded right now? No. No, but we fixed lighting, we fixed sounds. Now we also have emotes. We're getting there.
Now we still have to fix ourselves.
Yeah.
but
Now we.
that's-
Yeah.
I
oh,
feel
God.
very free though. Like I normally I have to share this part of the table with Crystal, and I love you dearly, Crystal, if you're watching.
No, you know what? I
Right.
feel every week. Oh, space, everything for me, just
Like
for me.
we have her giant binder full of spells in my little corner and character sheet, and now I can just be like, I have one sheet here, and another piece of that there, and no one's bothered by it.
Let me just get
Such
out my.
luxury. Oh!
Let me just get out my giant whiteboard, which I can use for notes.
This is what true freedom feels like. Yeah, most definitely.
Okay.
Killing the Maddox. who cares?
America, F yeah.
So, but once again.
However, there's also no healthcare on that end of the table.
Ouch. So.
That explains it.
And there's also one last thing that we are doing now for the second week in a row, and that is that we do not longer have a designated producer to help us with all the technical stuff. Nowadays we are doing it ourselves, so we can thank Maxime for that as well. So bear with us if there are some technical difficulties, but don't worry, you will know them
Oh,
when
and,
they
and
arrive.
please notify us in the chat. Like if
Oh, yeah.
there's anything regarding the sound or something, like he's wearing this right now, but he won't be.
I will
wearing
be
all
putting
night.
this off after I do the intro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if there's anything, like Charlie's keeping touch with the chat. So yeah, please just notify us.
like the man said.
Cool.
All right. I think with that, everything is out of the way to start tonight's beautiful adventures of the pack. So, without further ado, shall we play a game? No? No?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
we're back? We're
Yes.
back? Okay, we're back. Cool.
Still figuring this out.
So, last time we left off, our heroes were still in the northern, swampy, cold province of Fellowver. Here, in the large swamp city known as Vremgrist, they set out to hunt their first real target, the Maddox, the former slave master of our red dragonborn friend Grakal. But with him now lying dead in the ground, our heroes are done here and are ready to set off to new adventures. Their first new adventure would be to travel further south, on board the ship that they actually took up north to hunt the Maddox, but now with a couple of other freed slaves, namely giant folk in tow, which they will bring back home to their mountainy ridges of the spine of the world. So, but before their vessel would set sail, our heroes were still having a week of their own here in the town of Vremgrist, where they conducted a couple of things. Namely, they went on some shopping and they did a lot of training, anticipating their eventual ship to depart further south. But now, as the end of the week comes to a close, all four of you, with Hannah and Melo also still being there, all four of you, somewhere here, just walking around.
She
you
probably
guys-
turned into a tree again. Yeah, most definitely.
Most definitely.
She's training as a tree.
She's training.
Training, oh god.
Sorry.
Oh man.
Sorry.
Hannah's training has also come to a conclusion. And with that, all of you were currently invited by Lovian, a high elf who was now underway training your friend Allison for a couple of days. Because when you look back at the couple of months leading up to this encounter with the Maddox, it seemed that Allison was getting a little bit out of touch with the world around him. Growing up in a high elf society with all types of different servants and upper class people around him, he might have had some troubles conversing with the quote-unquote normal folks of this world. And at the same time, Allison also got his hands on a beautiful double-bladed sword-like weapon, which he didn't really know how to use. But for the last week, he has had a crash course from a blade singer elf known as Lovian, who has been training him. And now, at the end of this week of training, all of you are courteously invited to his little battle palace, where you are asked to be there.
Like, you guys have hardly ever seen Allison this past week. Like, he's been busy 18 hours a day.
Yeah,
Like,
Iro just kind of dropped you off, and then I was like, well, I do my other things.
Yep.
Yeah.
So while everybody was doing their own trainings, eventually the four of you walk up to this small little palace at the dry district of Vremgrist, where the architecture is beautiful and elf-like from the time that the elves actually colonized these lands. You walk up to the door, bum, 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 bum. And eventually, while waiting just a few moments, a lizard
This man
folk...
takes a long time to open this door.
Well, no man this time. A lizard folk. Ah, you are the ones to show Allison's graduation to, no?
Are we? Yes, yes we are. Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
Very well, very good. Follow me, please.
As we walk and follow the lizard man thing, I kind of like nod into Iroh's ear. What is gradation?
Allison becomes a man.
Very well. I did not know elves could turn into men.
Oh yeah,
Strange people.
they are. But aside from that,
Also, I always thought he was already man.
well, more from boy to man.
Ah, yes. Now I understand why you speak so complicated.
Well, I just woke up, man. I have to get used to your language.
Ah, yes. Let us see gradation.
The building that all of you entered was this large, rounded, dome-like structure with 4 different outcrops towards 4 small guard towers of a sort. Not really that practical in their size and their form, but surely made to mimic that sort of architecture. Now that you are entered this dome, you are quickly led through a long hallway that ends in one large double set of wooden doors which open up into what seems to be the main courtyard. When you look up, you can see that this large rounded area has a hole in the top where the light of this late midday sun is still raying through towards the bottom, where there's this large sand pit which is just bordered off by one large ring of metal on the ground, and then like 2 meters apart from there you have like these stone staircases where you can sit on, and in the middle of this area you can see two figures. One that you might have realized as the old kung fu like master elf known as Lovian, with his long grayish white silver hair that goes very slick down his face and eventually turns one with the rest of his beard and his mustache that also goes down, perfectly cut off in one fell swoop.
Recall, do you see the old one? That's the boss
Boss of what?
of this place.
He great warrior.
Yes, I think so. Yeah, probably.
Then we are here to gradate against him.
Well, I think that's what Allison has been trying to do this week.
Gurkal looks over to the old man as we walk, takes a confused look back.
He seems small. Why Allison not ask my help for killing or gradating boss?
Well,
I eat him easily.
when you're small,
Good luck with that.
you have to fight against somebody who's also small, so that you get an equal fight. So if
You never fight against anyone small and you always win. Hey, you very
That's fair.
small. Iroh, you very small.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point.
Yes. No matter, we shall see Allison gradate against boss. And then maybe we kill boss, yes?
What kind of loot does this guy have? No.
Well, with this thought in your mind, your eyes gaze over all the different spaces on the wall, basically, because at the end of this like staircase-like tribune where all of you can be seated, you can also see that on all the different walls there are these large murals in the ways of all different types of animals. You can see a swan being drawn in the stone. You can see a large cat-like creature. And what you can also see is a creature that begins with the body of a bear but ends with the face of an owl. And at the bottom of all of these murals, you can see different types of weapons being hanged there. You can see, like at the cat, that there are multiple bladed types weapons, like rapiers and elven swords, and very thin, prickly weapons like daggers. You can see that at the mural where a normal bear is depicted, you can see like a heavy battle axe and a flail being hung on the wall. And where you can see a owlbear, you can see just one space, empty. Where, oh sorry, no, not empty. There is actually a simple double-bladed sword being presented there. And as you can see in the middle of this small battle area, of this small sand pit where people can duel each other, you can see these two individuals. The elf known as Lovian, with a beautiful encrusted leather armor on, with like pauldrons that actually stick out, with his hand behind his back, and next to him a double-bladed sword being thrust into the dirt beside him. And next to it you can see your ally, your friend, your pack member, Allison. However, Allison looks a little bit different.
Allison looks very different.
Yeah.
Our ally son.
Oh God, no! Please don't.
This is going to be today's session.
Yeah, that's gonna be today's session.
Because Allison didn't only train for the last couple of days, he also made a sketch. So if we can go to the
And,
battle map for just
yeah,
a second.
Yeah, we can.
So basically, first off, Allison's changed his hair. Where it first was very long, just on one side, basically knotted to the back. Right now, he's basically cut half of it off, and basically did some kind of samurai ponytail kind of thing backwards. A bit of Geralt of Rivia, like The Witcher in the game, basically backwards and then with a small ponytail behind it. And oh, that thing is not very visible. All right, and next to that, there are two things that are stand out a bit. He's created his own armor. This is a very rough sketch. I drew this in like 2 minutes, I think. But basically, it's a multi-layered leather armor where all of the thicker lines are silver encrusted lines, which form basically these multiple plates, multiple layers. Everything that's a bit drawn in, like the rough sketching, is all a bit of a dark blue color, and the rest is a dark black, basically.
Yeah, and for our people that are listening and cannot actually see it,
Oh yeah, definitely.
it starts off with like one large breastplate with the face of an owlbear on top of it that only goes to just below your ribs, and afterwards you can.
It says
Yeah,
Ambience.
yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah. I was like, what are the scribbles? Okay, yes.
And below that you have like these different strips of different plates of leather, all adorned with like this silver metal to
metal.
finish it off.
And right now he's currently still wearing his cape that he wore previously. It's like a very light blue color cape, a cloak, which is also lined with silver. But yeah, right now basically he's staring, he's looking, and his eyes shine a bit more than they used to right now. Like, his eyes are quite special anyways, given that he has 2 different colors eyes. Like, his left one is blue, his right one is a bit more greenish. And yeah, he's just looking there confident right now. Next to him in the ground is also his cold iron double-edged elven curve blade. And Hannah sees that there's something written on it in Elfish. So yeah, she's probably here and probably tells you guys.
Yeah, although Hannah has been training in the swamp for like a week straight, and she caught the flu. So she's just like snuttering a little bit and holding Melo as a sort of blanket of warmth, and she just says like, I will go sit over there.
Is Melo getting a bit better?
Melo is growing, actually.
Okay.
Melo is getting larger by the day.
So they're both a bit snotty and
Yeah.
just a bit shivering.
Yeah, basically.
Fair.
Just having a bad time altogether.
But right now, so this elven double-edged elven curve blade, like it's completely like a black bluish color, cold iron, right?
Cold iron is more like from dark blue to silvery white.
Yeah, like a complete dark bluish color, where on one side of the whole blade, on both sides, there's something engraved. What in Elfish said, on one piece of the blade it says, I had the strength and finesse there, and on the other, and put it all together. For people who want to
Sweet.
know, this is a quote I picked up online, and it's great. It's made by Elvis Stoico, and that's some blade singer right now in the world, I guess. One of the first, probably.
Self, there we go. All right. That's how you world build, people.
Yeah,
Sure,
basically. So yeah, that's basically how he changed right now. He's just standing there, back straight, just waiting.
All right.
I have a question.
You can ask him. Go ahead.
Is there like an open bar?
You can ask the lizard folk attendee if he has some drinks, if you'd like. Like you've seen how society works. If someone will get you a drink, it will be that guy.
You.
Yes.
We watch gradation. You bring food and drink, yes?
He looks over to his master standing there, and the large elf stature of the man sighs for a second. Right away. Please have a seat.
One more thing.
Make it 2, please.
Of course.
None of those vegetables. Only flesh.
Very good, sir. Good choice. Good choice. As he scutters off
I can
into a
agree
side.
with that.
We're dicks.
Oh yeah, you are. As we're all a little bit awkwardly sitting in this dojo sort of scenario where every space is empty except for the ones that you yourselves will take. You sit down a little bit uncomfortably until the large elf stature sets a step forward. We are gathered here today to start the growth of Alison Artano. Here in Vremgrist, many elves have been settled from many different lands. Many people come here searching for adventure, for guidance, for purpose. Some of which will come to me. Alison is one of these individuals. Throughout the ages, many an elf have traveled these worlds purposeless, searching for something that they missed in their lives. Allison was one of these. For centuries and decades, blade singers have traveled these lands, honing their crafts, finding that combat art that makes it unique for them. Allison was one of these. He begins to step to one side and then to the other. For the past week, I have inducted Allison for his first and actual step into the art of blade singing. He was purposeless when he came to me, and he might still be after today. But with the tools that I have given him, with the skills that he has acquired, he might continue his search more clearly. Allison was a man growing up with pompous brats all around him, which groomed him to be one of them as well. However, he had the strength to set out. He had the strength to step away from his parents and made a life for himself. Now this strength has been rewarded by the skills and the power to continue on his path. This dojo has taught many different schools of blade singers throughout the years. The one that Allison has chosen this last week to be trained is a school of the Owl Bear. A school which focuses on the combination of finesse and power during combat. The weapon that he now holds bears many names: twin blades, sword staves, double-edged swords, all different names for a singular purpose: to strike your foe down with power and grace. Allison and I will today show you the power he has acquired. He takes a step back, tink, takes his double-bladed sword out.
I do a slight applause, like, oh, do we have to do that at this moment?
Carl looks at you confused.
I'm confused as well, I'm just like,
Like we're just looking confused
Yeah,
at
I'm
each
just-
other as you're clapping and I'm not.
so it almost looks like it's an interaction between us. Like,
Yeah, but it's just like
Hannah just sits there with Melo, like pulls him up a little bit more, and Melo is like helplessly, like how a cat is when you get it like under the arms, like with his paws like this, like just up there, just not having a good time still. At this moment, the lizard folk person also comes with a platter which has some dried meats and jerky on it in one hand,
Yes.
and like a plate with a couple of different cups on it, and a what seems to be a tankard of meat of some sort, and he just like puts the plates in between you and begins to fill the tankards.
I looked at what arrives and I was just like, damn, a charcuterie?
after he pours the cup for him, I grab the tankard. I just kind of like I'm like, no, it's okay.
And the lizard folk, crooked as he is, just scurries away again.
Yeah, so like the joke is in my head. The amusing part of this, Gurkal missed most of what you guys did last session, and now after a week of just kind of chilling and training, you know, Iroh's like, hey, we're gonna watch Allison, and I'm like, we're gonna
Say
watch
what now?
Allison do what? And, he was brought here with no context, and he's sorely confused, but also pretty amused because like there's drinks and there's meat.
Drink fruit in the show.
But still, he just kind of looks up confused as he flourishes, you know. Allison need help slaying boss?
No, I do not.
No help. Very well. And I start
Alright.
drinking from the tankard.
So Allison basically turns towards him, makes a slight bow. He goes to like he has two gasps, like two
Clasps.
clasps over here, and he clicks them in. His cloak basically falls from his shoulders to the ground.
We're going Batman on this.
Basically.
I love it.
And he picks up the double-edged blade.
Shink. And with that, Lovian gets the double-bladed sword behind him and begins to spin around you.
So does Allison. And what people immediately notice is that his movements have become a lot better.
Nice.
Like a lot better. Like feel like he's hardly ever leaving an opening.
He's no longer tripping over his feet like he does his words.
And the double-bladed sword, which started off heavy and unbalanced in his hands, sits comfortably in just one hand right now as they are twirling around each other. All right. And with this demonstration now starting, I would like you to make a performance check as a part of this initiative roll.
Nice.
Okay.
What is that? Oh,
Natural 2.
Oof.
Natural 2. Yeah.
9.
All right. So with that, Lovian will start off as this dance suddenly erupts as both targets just dash at each other. And Lovian goes in for a first strike for a total of 24 to hit.
24 hits.
And just with that, at the moment your swords would clash with each other, he makes a somersault over you and rolls over your back with his back and gets in your backside and then just sink, just slowly, just a little one. 4 points of damage. Just
I have a question.
it's a little bit of a
How many
tease.
feet away am I?
Right now you would be meters, feet, calculating.
25 or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, you would be beyond the 15 feet mark.
Ah,
I would
okay.
think like
Don't interrupt,
Sorry, buddy.
asshole.
No, I was like, I could, like, nowhere does it state I actually have to do anything. You know? I could just, like, give a little prayer and suddenly you take less damage, you know? But no, unfortunately
But
not.
with that, as part of this demonstration, he just slices your backside a little bit and twirls like his sword to his back, that it actually like just sticks out, seemingly leaving him open to your attacks. And that's all he does for this turn. Your turn.
Basically, I immediately make a twist, draw, and basically do some kind of barrel roll and try and first feint attack.
All right.
against him. Nope. We're natural 2 again. I'm rolling again.
It's okay, yeah. We have our bad days.
And
you're
afterwards, I'm gonna try and just stab him.
All right.
You're gonna get there, buddy.
For a 24.
Ah, there we
24.
go.
All right. And with
we
that,
go.
he will let you hit.
Exactly.
He
It was
chooses
just the
to
nerves
lower his AC
of
for
us
this
being
encounter.
there.
Yeah, I
Sorry?
figured.
It was the nerves of us being there.
Yeah.
It was nervous.
8 points of damage.
All right, and with that, as Allison rolls out of the way gracefully as a cat, you can see that first he does like this beautiful twirl to feint. Lovian, the large elf, doesn't seem to flinch at this, but then, very strange, Allison seems to be gathering strength from some momentum, and the speed at which his double-bladed sword just pierces him completely out of guard. Lovian still tries to guard it, but he just takes it away just a little bit as it sinks into his shoulder. As Lovian comes closer to you, finesse with power, and he pushes you away.
As Addison gets pushed away, he kind of starts to twirl with his blade. And after each movement, you see the air around his blade vibrate a bit as some sort of barrier forms in front of him. As he casts shield.
As Lovian now stands at the ready and takes 2 steps, gets in the air and unleashes a powerful one big blast of an attack against you for a total of 22.
That's gonna miss.
That's gonna miss.
Because I'll dodge out of the way.
All right.
Basically, make a roll.
And with
to the
that,
side.
as the shimmer intensifies, as the shield spell of Allison gets into effect, that together with the finesse that Allison has, he twirls his blade to one side and let the momentum of the weight of the blade actually carry him away. The sword of Lovian just hits the ground with this large thud as 2 whiffs of dust just scatter throughout the entirety of the hall. At which point, outside of this smoke of, this cloud of dust, you can see anything, but the speed of this elf is incredible, as already he had stood up and now just dashes by you for a tertiary attack, which is going to miss, I believe, for a total of 20.
Yeah, that's gonna miss.
All right, and with that, Allison dashes out of the way once again.
Dashes, immediately feints.
All right, go ahead, your turn once again.
For natural 18, so that's gonna be 25.
25, that'll hit.
After which, he'll basically use his twin feint attack again.
Ah, right.
Now, finally, gonna try and with the double-edged blade, gonna first and then immediately twirl it around against his face again.
All right.
That's to the same dice. That's not handy. First, second. The first one is a 22. He is flat-footed.
He hits.
Second one is gonna be a 20.
20 still hits at this moment.
All right. Nice. Nice.
All right.
Nice.
So with that, as Lovian has unleashed his assault of attacks, you can actually see Allison just and then go in for it. And this is the first time that you can actually see that Allison has tried to wield this weapon before, and you have seen Allison in combat with his rapier in one hand and his short sword in the other, sometimes tripping, sometimes being clumsily. But this moment of pure clarity is just visible in the air, as everything just fits, and Allison is just moving with his weapon as a knife through butter, smooth as can be.
And the way he's fighting, I kind of feel like referencing Avatar: The Last Airbender, where they have this party in that cave, where they're basically dancing and then having that fight dance. That's basically how I see
Hell
it.
yeah.
A
Alright,
bit,
so
a
go ahead
bit
and roll your
that
damage.
combined with The Witcher.
Capoeira.
I don't know. Could be.
Katuwera.
Ah.
That's what the dwarves call blade singers.
22 points of damage.
22 points of damage, nice. As your blade connects 2 times, as with one hand behind his back, he tries to twirl out of the way a little bit, and he softens the blows just a little bit. So, but the cuts still come through as tink, tink. His armor is scratched, and a little bit of blood is welling up at both sides.
That was my turn.
As Lovian is now just stepping around you a little bit. But Allison still has much to learn. As he takes a step, teleports behind you, and then tries to slash you in the back with a type of magic that you guys have not seen before, I believe.
Man.
For a total of, that would be 32.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's been my turn, so it won't crit because I try and dodge out of the way. So
All right.
It won't crit.
All right. So you can soften the blow just
Yeah.
a little bit in the same way that he has been doing.
So my AC is
All
now
right.
23. So,
For a total of, that'll be 8 points of damage.
all right. That's better than that it's not a crit.
Grakal kind of just stands up. No! And then he sits back down again, kind of self-aware.
It's like, sit down here. Have some of the charcuterie.
Oh, yes, charcuterie.
At which moment he
Yeah.
twirls his blade once more and just with one large open hand push just tries to push you away. So what is your athletics DC?
Well, my athletics DC
Yeah.
is 10.
10,
My
all right.
Fortitude DC is 16.
Okay, but both will be enough. So with that, he just opens you up a little bit as you just slide 5 feet back and come to a standstill.
I'll try and use that momentum. It's just a sandpit, right? There's no,
There's nothing else.
okay,
No,
nothing else.
Just you and him.
As I slide backwards.
You could also try to attack Grakal if you
yeah,
want.
basically throw my
Yeah,
weapon
just
against
throw
him.
it.
Yes!
I'll basically use
Involve
the
me.
slide and just turn around him and go for a flank. Basically,
All right.
Try and maneuver behind him. After which I'll use my own guidance. So basically, I dash towards him and I jump, and in mid-air I basically touch myself against the air, just towards him.
Allison can double jump.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
I can double jump.
Oh no.
Mickey, what are you doing here?
That's a shame. Yeah, that's gonna be 16.
16, all right. And with that, as Allison slides to a standstill in the sandpit, he starts running, he jumps in the air, and with that you can see a sparkle of arcane energy, chink, as he pushes himself forward. And at that moment, Lovian just gets out his sword and just point to point, sword against sword in the middle of the air, just tink, catch each other. Impossibly clear. And then both of the figures drop to the ground as Lovian chink, puts the sword back
I think I've
into
seen
the
that
dirt.
side
I twist it
on the
again, put it in the
ceiling
ground
of
as well.
like a temple or something. But I'm
And
not
I
sure.
make a bow again.
As these two people bow against each other, and you have now witnessed the first proficiently performed blade dance of Allison Artan.
Yes!
I do applause again.
I stand up and Grakal gets it now. He's like, yeah! And then looks at Iroh.
But they both still live.
Yes, it's more like
It's
a,
friendly fight.
Yeah, it's friendly fight. It's show.
Show.
Yes. Remember back in the first city that we were, that you had to fight in like a pit against somebody?
Yes.
Like that.
People watch, but we no kill.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, we watch now.
Yeah.
Of course. Thank you.
We're the watchers.
Lovian takes a step forward. With this, the graduation.
Let's do it.
My bad.
Let's do it. Work hard.
No. With this, the graduation of Alison Artano is complete. Do not think that his teachings are complete by this short, brute-forced attempt of a start. I have only opened the gate for him. He must continue to walk through it himself. But he will not be without guidance, as from the side the lizard folk attendee now comes up with a small wooden box and presents it above his head to Lovian, who opens it up and gets a small booklet out of it and then gives it to Artano. Alison can see that the book is beautifully leather bound, pretty old, but it has like an embroidering of the face of an owl at the front, with the two claws of the bear-like form that he actually bears behind him, curling over it, as a sign of the school of the owl bear.
So every time he's talking, like Alison's just standing with his hands behind his back, just standing straight, not just facing his head in front of him, not looking at him, just looking in front of him. Like very disciplined. And basically that guy comes walking up to him, hands in the book, he makes a bow first, takes it on, puts it against his chest and just holds it like this.
What you guys might also realize at this moment is that Alison has taken some wounds. Like before, when you guys were in battle, Alison flinched and like showed that he was wounded. But right now, the discipline that he has outweighs the pain and the suffering that he has been going through like 10 times over. And you can actually see that this leather armor that Alison is wearing, like a little bit of a trickle of blood is just coming down there. And he's not like tensing. His breathing is calm, sophisticated.
1 week of training. This guy should monetize that stuff. Write a book or something.
Definitely, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, you just gave it to you.
Yeah. With this,
There will be a bill.
yeah. I was like, not our money.
with this, the Gwenin School of Blade Singing gives to you the esoteric text of the School of the Owlbear. Take them with you on your journeys and continue your training. And say hi to Artemis for me if you meet him again.
I smile and I nod.
Now then, with this piece of charity has come to a conclusion, and now you can all get the fuck out of my house.
Just one question. I don't see like anything with hands here. I see multiple animals, but like that one has as the blade that Alison has, and then you have, but there's no animal with just hands.
What the fuck are you talking about? Animals without hands?
Animals with hands.
All
like,
animals have hands.
yeah, but you can also fight with your hands.
Of course you can.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then
What are
we
you
have an
getting on with?
Then we have an agreement.
Conversation ever.
Then we have an agreement. Good day, sir.
As
I said good day.
as you guys are leaving, he lays his hand up on top of Alison's shoulder. Are you sure with these guys?
They're idiots, but they're good idiots.
As long as they're your idiots.
And you hear me scream to Girl, "Bring the meat!"
You hear boing. It's like this plate is just being like pulled off. This tray is being pulled off the table.
I'll teach them some discipline soon too.
Oh, whoa. Okay.
Jokefully.
I don't know what- I don't know what to expect now.
With a small smile along the bearded face of the old elf, he says, they might use a little bit of that training. Now go on. Get some rest.
Thank you very much for everything.
As a part of our schools, it is custom to extend some form of free labor to the new uninitiated. I'm just continuing this tradition.
Make a bow again. And I walk up to my cloak, put it on.
Oh, and tell that the ladder that he needs to come say hi sometimes if you see him.
I very much will.
You hear from like the back just a real snotty. What? Is that right?
As Hannah is just sitting there.
Did someone say?
As all of you are now leaving the building, Hannah just comes up to you as well for a second, and with the small bit of energy that she still can muster, she also said, "Congratulations. Look well. I'm going to bed."
Thank you.
All right.
Cute.
As you guys are exiting the building and entering the streets of Vremgrist, this graduation ceremony wasn't completely just randomly pinpointed at one day. This is actually also the last evening that you guys will be spending here at Vremgrist before you will get up early in the morning to set sail further south with a group of companions on board of the Velodrome. So,
Looking forward to it.
with that being said, is there anything else anyone of you would like to do before we set sail further south?
Yes. People were talking about some alchemists.
Oh,
and
yes.
Allison's very much interested.
Ah,
yeah.
yes.
He hasn't been able to go there yet, so he still wants to.
That was Magica Botanica.
That one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good, very good. Let me just get the right soundtrack out of the way. There we go. All right. So,
So, how do you like my hair?
It's cool.
Hair. Ah, yes, it different.
It's better.
Yeah,
Okay,
you said so.
I think hair no part of tribe. So I do not know how to think of hair.
That's alright.
It's still white.
It's still silver, yeah.
Good.
Gurkal kind of awkwardly, as he's munching on the meat, like he hands you a piece again, you know, and he's just like, and he throws away the empty tray, like you hear this aluminum boing, boing, boing on the street behind him, or silver, who knows what it is, you know, it's like really expensive.
Allison's like, oh yeah, these guys were assholes.
Yeah, well, it's more like,
completely forgot.
Well,
honestly, in my defense, Gurkal honestly just doesn't know societal rules. Iroh is an asshole, though.
Yeah.
No, he knows and still decides to do this.
He chooses to be an asshole.
it's my choice.
Something about liberty. Fair.
Like the difference between the accidental and the and the actual assholes. All right. So, as this afternoon comes to a conclusion, the rest of you just have one last stop to make with the time that Allison has to spend. And with it, you walk to the border between two of the districts of the city, namely the district you guys are currently on, like the district that also houses like the large castle, the large fort, where the lord and lady of this large city reside over the
plateau
citizens.
and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And also houses all of the beautiful and more artistic buildings, which go for a very, very high price. And the other district, which just borders on the rest of the wilderness that this area has to offer, and as such is home to a lot of different types of industry that work with the plant life that the swamp has to offer. And just on the cusp of it, here where the large dry plateau actually curves downward and enters this low swamp-like area, you have this neatly built hobbit home built into the side of the dirt of the wall. However, although it is a very nice hobbit home with a large round door in the middle, it's not really as cozy as one would think. As you walk up to it, you can already see that all different types of moss and all other types of flora are growing on the outside. And as you open the door, as Iroh can remember from last time he was here, all the different types of scents of rot and of vegetation being dried just assaults your nose completely. As you enter this building, you can see that the ceiling is pretty low. Like Gurkal, you can stand there, but only barely.
Oh yeah, no, Gurkal, I was actually waiting for you to finish.
Oh.
Gurkal, as we enter it, Gurkal says,
No, I wait outside.
Yeah, this hobbit hole is about as welcoming as the other one that I saw with a sign outside saying no visitors allowed.
Except for party business.
Except for party business.
Is that copyrighted that we just said that? I don't
and,
know.
No.
no, but Gurkal doesn't want to go in there. He just stays comfortably outside where he can stand semi-upright.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
fair.
makes sense.
You're never actually walking upright. You're
No,
always
but like
hunched forward a bit,
relatively,
but,
you know,
yeah.
his upright is still 2 meters tall, so
It's still
you
too
know,
big.
Yeah, so it. Nah.
Yeah.
Just a hassle to be there, man. And
Yeah.
also like the air just assaults your lungs. It's not really a very nice time. Although Allison might be intrigued by what he actually finds there. Because as the door opens and you step inside, you can see that both walls, as the entire building, quote unquote, is just one wooden floor with a counter at the end with a door going to some sort of back area, and two walls where different bookcases are situated, but instead of books, they hold all different types of pots with liquids inside them, dried herbs that also hang from the ceiling, like pieces of wood. What do you call it? Whatever. That. And right now you can hear from somewhere in the back that somebody or something is rummaging through some goods, but the store itself right now is completely empty of any sellers.
I look around a bit. Do I find anything interesting?
Go ahead.
Not waiting
About
for the
that,
shopkeeper.
Just looking.
last week
fair.
we bought a quicksilver potion for Kokal.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So you can write
Raquel
it
will
down.
wait until you notify a main character. Because in and out of character, I don't know what that is.
Might
so.
want to have Allison inspect that first so we can make them too.
We'll do that.
And
Yes.
make sure that they're not poison.
Basically.
Also very nice.
So yeah, Allison,
Don't worry about that.
All right.
That's fair.
So, as you take a look around, go ahead and make a crafting check for me, please, to see what types of alchemical goods you might find that is beautiful about it.
21.
21, nice, not too shabby, not too shabby. As you walk around the different planks that the bookshelves hold, you can see all different types of herbs, some very trivial that you know of, some having somewhat of a magical essence to it that you know, and some just being outright completely unknown to you, which is also very interesting.
That's nice.
And as you go over the different types of potions that they can see, remind me which are the potions that you can create momentarily?
So I can make antidotes, I can make healing potions, I can make, not quicksilver, but the Eagle Eye, where's my booklet?
Those shots, elixir of life.
You
Yeah,
also could do the Juggernaut mode?
yeah, Juggernaut I
believe?
can make, yeah. That's basically it, I don't have a lot.
All right, so with the 21, as you go over all the different types of potions that this place has to offer, you can see a couple that you know of, namely the Eagle Eye potion that you can already make, the Elixir of Life that heals wounds, and you can also see indeed another of a Quicksilver mutagen that they already bought and are going to give to Rukal. But what you can also see is that they have antidotes, but this one that you take a hold of for a second and you can sniff, oh wow, this one is pretty intense. Might be like a better version, maybe?
All right.
Interesting.
All right. So in general, for every better version, I need a new recipe, right?
Exactly,
Okay.
yeah.
Cool. It's not just
Which sucks.
I'm gonna distill it and it's gonna be stronger. Yeah.
Afraid not, no. Everything
Okay.
is,
Cool.
What?
Hello.
What? And the door opens and this old lady, she really looks like a witch or a hag already. Like, she is a human, but she has like a sort of crooked nose, and she also like has like a hunch, and the robes that she wears are also like completely dirty with all different types of like dirt and soot that she probably collected while dredging to the swamp.
So many wrinkles.
And so many wrinkles, like all in all wrinkles. You cannot even see if she actually has a face. No, not that bad.
It's like a human pug.
Yeah, well, it's very clear that she does not give a fuck anymore about her appearances. And as such, her flashy, long white hair that's becoming very thin and dreaded also just hangs over her shoulders a little bit as she just looks into the room a little bit and takes her glasses. Ah, I remember you.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
my friends told
Very well.
me about your place here.
Ah, yes, and therefore you are returned here to see if you can buy. I knew my little portion of, well, bait would be enough to drag you over.
When Iro waves hello, you can still see the hand wraps around his hands.
Ah, have they already come in handy for you?
Well, last week was just kind of casual, you know, doing my stuff. So no, not really.
Very well. I hope they will come in handy at some point.
Oh, they most
No pun
definitely
intended,
will.
you know, handy because they're hand.
Ah!
So, I believe
One
that
of
you
those
were the
sessions.
alchemist that might be interested in some of my formulae. Is that correct?
That's very much true. Yes.
Ah,
I'm
very
always
well,
looking
very
to
well.
expand.
Well then, might I ask you for a little test? You see, as an alchemist myself, I am a guardian of the secrets that I hold, of course. And I would not like to part with the information and data that I have about all my different things to someone who does not, how do you say, appreciates its value.
Very much. I understand that.
All right. Well then, if I get just a moment, please. And she gets to the back, and eventually, as you're rummaging through a little bit of stuff, yes. And she gets out this small crate, which has like 6 different places for like bottles in them, but they only hold 3 different things right now. So, this one doesn't hold any label. All you can see is that it has like a very thick brown liquid in it. What do you make of this?
I'll take out my alchemist supplies.
All right.
And I'm just gonna try and test it a bit. Like I'm just gonna put it on a little bit.
Go ahead and make a
see what
crafting
the
check.
effects are. I'm 13.
13? All right. So,
That's the third or fourth natural 2 I've rolled.
Sorry, buddy.
Yeah, it happens.
RNGesus is not with you today.
so the first test is the easiest one because it's going to in gradations. So with a 13, you are sitting there and you are scratching your head a little bit, and you have done 2 different tests already, and you're getting a little bit sweaty, and eventually you ask, well, go on then, this shouldn't be too difficult for you. And eventually, this is a freaking trick question. This is actually the distilled substance of the grey willow that she actually gave me as a little bit of bait to come here.
Yeah, tell her this.
Very well, very well. Now then, what about, as she opens the second pot, she gets out a few filings of what seems to be some sort of, as you squish it, some sort of fungus-like material. What might this be used for then? Should go ahead and make another crafting check.
Yeah. I'm so rolling so poorly. 17.
17. As you try different things, you are looking for like something that might give you a hint of what it is used for, but eventually all the different tests that you are running don't give you any information. You can only see that it is some sort of a mushroom, perhaps. It's red. You want to take a guess?
Let's see, it's red.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a blue cap shroom, right?
No. It's
Definitely
red.
not,
It's in the name, yeah.
That's what I figured.
What do you say?
I'm just gonna be honest. Like, honestly, I don't know this ingredient. But given the color, might be for a healing elixir or something. I don't know.
She gets up the small little filing, throws it on the ground, and it just explodes.
Ah, that makes a lot of sense. I stick to elixirs.
Go ahead and make a diplomacy check.
It's very true.
Of course it is. That's why I'm asking for diplomacy. You're being very honest.
17.
17. Fine then. Fine. Well then, if you are one for elixirs, as she gets the crate away and just opens the counter to walk into the room with all of you, she looks at the ceiling a little bit, searching for something, and eventually just like snaps out a small leaf. Well then, normally these are very succulent, but this one is already dried out. If you are indeed someone to concoct different types of elixirs to give boons to you and your allies, you should be able to figure out what this can be used for.
Can I roll? Great. Finally.
I hope so.
I hope so.
Go ahead.
Okay. What die should I use?
You want to borrow mine?
Yeah, like
I'm
should I?
always 20.
Okay, I'm gonna try this one.
Okay,
It's
okay,
gonna
okay.
be 2 again.
Such superstition.
Okay. 22.
22. As you are figuring out what this type of leaf can be, it's very difficult because it's already dried out and it's really unreactive to a lot of different tests that you can do. But eventually, you come to the conclusion that this is actually fairly valuable to you, as it seems that this type of substance just makes you more resilient. Might be used to increase armor class, reduce damage.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
So, my young
I-
elf, what is this substance used for?
Well, I'm very much interested in this.
And why is that? She sips from her cup of tea.
Well, as you might, feel, the lives of us tend to get damaged a lot. And,
Indeed.
well, this might actually help for this. So, might be able to cover some of the blows.
It wasn't easy to figure that out just in the span of a few moments. Very well. You haven't passed all of my tests, young elf, and as such, there will be some secrets that I keep to myself. But I am willing to sell some of my formulae with you.
I'm very much willing to go on.
No, I think I have seen enough and I have bored the rest of your friends for a long while already.
Well, you're lucky the Dragonborn is outside because that guy is real easy to bore.
I figured as much. Now, come, let us talk business. And with that, she takes out her book, and we will see what type of things that you can actually buy later on, and
Yeah.
what types of beautiful potions that you can brew with her new knowledge.
Cool.
So yeah,
Nice.
all right. So with that out of
More
the way,
upgrades.
as eventually Iroh and Allison step out of what seems to be like an eternity in that store.
Oh my gosh.
Like, Allison was actually just really tired. so
By
I-
Kura now, guys. Now,
But-
so Grakal looks up.
Yes,
We've
we go now.
We've got a present
Where?
here, and
Present.
I present the Quicksilver potion.
What?
So, Allison will tell you what this is.
I grab it. What does it look like? Is it like a round vial or like an?
It's a square vial.
Okay.
It's a square vial with like a cork in the top of it, and it's made square because like the liquid inside of it is actually just a non-see-through silver liquid, so it actually looks like quicksilver. And if you get it into like the beautiful corner, you get like the beautiful light being fractured off of it. So that's why they put it in a square vial, and it actually says quig.
Nah, I mean,
Whatever.
Yeah.
Says it on it. But it just looks like
Is there a
molten metal.
picture on there?
Nah, I'm afraid not.
No,
probably
It just
not.
looked like molten metal to you.
Okay.
What does it
Sparkly?
say? What is it?
It's a Quicksilver potion.
Quicksilver. Do you
Yeah.
have any idea what this is?
Go ahead and make a crafting check for me.
Natural one.
Natural one. Well, there you go again.
Do I remember what this is? Because we talked to the woman
So
about
basically,
this.
basically what she said is that the potion can aid someone when you drink it for 10 minutes with anything that actually relates to being very dexterous. So like ranged attack rolls is a very nice one, but also like being more acrobatic and being more stealthy and like light on your feet and all that sort of stuff all gets a little boost. On it.
It's only ranged attack rolls, right?
Right,
It's not
only range.
melee,
Yeah, no,
dexterity
it's like with
attacks.
your aim. Yeah.
It's good for your when you need to throw stuff or and such.
I don't know the recipe of that one yet. Do you mind if I, before you drink this, like we don't need it the next week, can I inspect it first so I can make it later?
Oh yeah, if Grakal is okay with it as well, probably because we're not gonna. I don't think we're gonna fight.
Grakal has been perpetually confused this whole conversation long.
Understandably so. Yeah.
Like it makes me throw things, but like, do I pour it
On the spear, like the.
Oh, you have to drink it.
This basically, and
You have
this,
to drink it?
this will enhance your abilities.
To throw.
Yes, and be
Very well.
quicker and be, I think, more agile in general. Be able to dodge more.
Always when Allison offer Grakal drink, it makes Grakal happy. So, I will also drink this when you wish. When you say to drink, yes?
Yes, I will.
Yeah, so for the sake of this, for like the mechanics about it, you get a +1 on acrobatics, stealth, and thievery checks, on reflex save, and on range attack rolls. And you also get a +5 feet bonus to your speed because you are quick. However, there's also a little bit of a downside because the actual potion attacks your body a little bit. It's not like you're basically taking an adrenaline shot. You get a -2 penalty to fortitude saving throws.
Ouch.
So
That's fine for me.
yeah, it's a small price.
This
to pay,
wasn't
I believe.
the one that damaged you.
This wasn't the one that damaged you. No,
All right, great.
just it
So
gives you a little
plus
bit.
1 to basically all dexterity related stuff.
Oh wait, it also excuse me. You have you are correct. You also take damage equal to twice your level when you drink it, and you can't recover those hit points while you are under effect of that potion.
Like,
So basically,
Allison
like-
doesn't know what it is.
No.
I do.
Max does though. Max does, though. We read books.
Yeah. We both DM.
All right. So with that, is there anything else that our party members would like to do before they leave this godforsaken swamp already?
I would like to say goodbye to Donald. He's probably been a good host
Yep.
for us this weekend.
Donald has indeed been a good host to you.
I also want to speak to the Eladrin quickly still. And
To
thank
the
him.
Eladrin.
Yeah, I wanted to ask how my training has been going.
Ah.
Because I have my instruction manual. I wrote probably, if Ira still wants to, Gricol will definitely have asked you if you wanted to help me again by reading it out
Yeah,
to me
probably,
while I'm
yeah.
training.
Yeah, about our the rest of our training things, we also will have a period on the ship as you guys are venturing further south.
Yeah.
So I was thinking that we could just wrap that up outside of the stream itself
Definitely.
and just like with Allison right now, just role play the nice things that actually come from it instead of just like writing down numbers for half an hour while people watch us do that.
That makes sense.
Right,
But
okay.
I like writing down numbers.
Yeah,
if they're
we'll
bigger
do that,
numbers
we'll
than
do
the
that.
numbers that were there first.
We'll get there.
I
we'll
get
get
that, I get that.
All right. So, as this last day,
Unless it's the amount of damage you've taken. Then you will know
No,
our
that's also
numbers.
pretty fun. It's like a race, you know. I gotta kill everyone before that number gets to 0.
that's pretty much how the game works. Yes.
That's the case. But yeah, we go to the
Alright.
tavern, hope to see if the Eladrin's still there, not busy.
All right, so with that, you go back to the Cleansing Fountain Inn, the large inn where Grokal was celebrating his victory and making sacrifices to Kuranau over his victory, together with a couple of the patrons that still remember him fondly, or not as much because he might be a little bit rowdy when he is spending a lot of cash on drink and food. However, as you guys come there for one last evening to blow some cash and have a nice time, Allison, you take a look around and eventually... Oh, crap. Misclicked. There we go. We'll get there. Just need that one. There we go. All right.
Technical difficulties.
So, as you enter the tavern, you can already see that the place has become a little bit more crowded. To recap how the inn actually looks, the Cleansing Fountain Inn is one of the more established, more rich taverns that the city has to offer, and its namesake is stood there exactly in the middle of the entire tavern. As you open the doors, there is this large fountain which just spouts out this pure water in a beautiful array, with around there all different types of tables, with a large counter in the back which holds enough space for 3 different types of barmaids or barmen to actually tend to everybody. And it also has a second floor which only has like a balustrade all around where patrons can also just hang over and just have a sip of a drink. And it seems that all of high society of Vremgrist at this moment of the day has gathered here to converse, to spend, and to have a jolly good time.
There were a lot of drow here too, right?
Yep, there are a mixture of what seems to be the humans and other different races that are out of town here and are just getting into like the best hotel that the city has to offer. And all the different locals are from high elves all the way to the most drow elves with very gray skin and white hair, but all very civilized and very courteous with each other. It seems that the elves of the city are indeed from the high elf and drow societies, but also like mingled in with each other together.
Yeah, I'm very interested in
Indeed.
that mingling. But
As you guys enter and search for a table to sit on, it's a little bit difficult, but eventually you guys find some place all the way to the back where you can sit a little bit in the corner, maybe not like the most nicest place, but it's at least a table. A
I
bartender.
object.
Oh,
If that's okay. I
Go
would
ahead.
make an intimidation check for like the first nice table that we always have, you know, like our booth. You know, I just kind of go up to that table. I go, at the people. Do they seem like big, intimidating people?
Okay, lower this.
They're
volume
probably
a bit.
elves, so.
Actually, don't answer that question. It makes it more fun if Gurkal does it without considering if they look big and scary. I just go up and I growl.
Go ahead and make an intimidation check for me. What's the number on the die?
It's a natural 20.
It's natural. Oh my god, of course it is.
For a total of 28.
Oh, damn.
Nice. So
Is
with
that like
that,
a critical?
so with that, as you guys are walking in, the normal people amongst you are already thinking like, oh, okay, we're civilized. We're just gonna take the table that is free to us. But Gurkal just stands there, and like one of the painters, that's the Dragonborn from last week. Where do you go, sir? Sir, please, we were keeping your table warm for you. I'm sorry for any of the inconveniences. I hope that you have a very pleasant evening, and please, here, have my drink.
Yes. And I sit down.
Allison is looking at this. He's very confused. He does not want to know what happened previously.
Gurkal just sits there like, this is correct, this is appropriate,
I
yes.
am the alpha male. But also, you know what the fun part is? Gurkal doesn't remember either. He doesn't remember either. But it was fun, apparently, or something.
Hell yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, fair.
I go and sit next to him. I'm a bit ashamed of what we're doing here, but that's alright.
Yeah, we'll probably just scoot into the booth.
Yep.
Yeah.
Without much effort, and eventually a barman also walks up to you, looks a little bit puzzled as he could have sworn that there were other people here, but never mind, it should have been wrong. Hi, good evening, can I help you with anything?
Good evening.
Do you need another round of drinks?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Yes, please.
Did you guys... He takes out his notebook. Aren't you...
No, they just left.
Yeah,
I'm not sure where they're seated right now.
They gave me their drink.
they skipped that. I think you should call the like a policeman or something, like
Guards.
a town guard. I think they
Did
skipped
they,
town.
did they
my
fucking...
God!
Go ahead and make a deception check.
Oh my god!
I'm so against
Look, this is again like Gurkal's
That's
just being
not-
rude and
Oh, wait, no.
uncivilized, and you're just
It's the end of the day. It's
intentionally-
the end of the day. That's a 13.
Oh my gosh!
What, Dave? Nah, Dave's an upstanding guy. He must have moved. No worries, no worries. I'll find him. So, but for you, he rips out his page and gets another bar tab going. What'll it be? And eventually he gets your food and drink. Allison, as you are sitting here having a nice bit of supper, you keep your eyes open for what seems to be a Eladrin, as they shouldn't be too hard to find. And eventually you can actually see him on one side of the bar, just conversing with one of the barmaids.
How does Hannah react to this?
Hannah has gone to bed already, it seems.
Oh, fair, fair.
Like when you guys were going towards the store to procure
went to bed
some
already.
magical flora and fauna, Hannah was already like, I'm just going to bed, fuck this day.
As I take a sip of my meat, I'm just like, guys, we're gonna tell her that we saw him again. She's gonna freak out.
Yes. Is she interested in Mill? But what about Allison?
Sorry?
Well, it's not really
You
about
always
that.
sleep in the same tent.
It's not really about that. It's more that she finally finds somebody that looks like her.
Ah,
Yeah.
yes.
Because Hannah,
Yes.
as an Eladrin elf, doesn't really see a lot of those same sort of Eladrin elves that can actually change their shape with the seasons. But this one was the first that she actually
It's
met
like
her.
when you see Dragonborn again.
But
yes,
to,
back home.
Yeah.
We'll be many far lands away.
to answer your question, no, Hannah and I do not mate.
Oh,
I teach her how to meditate, so she can sleep better.
I always thought you were ashamed to say what meditate means.
I can show you what meditation is someday if you like.
No, Gurkal, okay. Gurkal.
I give a wink.
Meditate, mate.
It does.
Same thing.
It,
Same
do-
thing. Yeah.
it does rhyme nicely.
Yeah, same
we don't
thing,
meditate.
same thing.
We don't mate. We meditate.
Wow, it sounds like this religious proverb.
Yeah,
you know, we
definitely.
don't mate, we meditate.
Meditate.
Wait until marriage. Okay, so, okay, so Gurkal turns towards Allison with this grin.
So Iro say you man now because of gradation.
Graduation, it's pronounced, but I wouldn't say that would have made me a man. But let's just say it's help me grow. I
But to grow is to become man. I do not understand. Again, Addison.
True. Yeah, you could see it as one
Or
of the
more
things.
man.
There you go.
I give
I
like
like
a
that one.
little bump against the chest plate. You're still wearing it?
Yeah.
Little
definitely.
bump against the chest plate, and I feel it, and I give another bump a little harder.
Thanks.
I think a bit more man, Addison, yes. But much more to grow. Until you must eat much meat, yes? Until you become like Grakal.
I can
don't
agree
think-
with that.
I don't think I'll ever grow as big as you are.
Maybe if you pray more.
Might be.
Yes.
Might be.
No meditate.
But so far, my God has not really shown anything towards me.
What? Your God has shown you many things. He
No.
has sent me in your way to protect and to fight alongside.
I put my hand on your shoulder.
Kuranau, also your God. Do
I
not underestimate. Yes? Many times Kuranau has healed your pains. What
That's
has
very
other
true.
God done?
honestly, fair enough.
Yes.
My God has only cursed me.
Yes. Then, Kuranau, new God of Allison, if Allison wants. I teach many things about Kuranau. Great adventures. He come from sky and rain fire down. And he also births Dragonborn.
Let's just say that religion is a big part of my culture, and it's not something I can easily neglect. I cannot neglect my pantheon that easily.
Oh, it works pretty fine for me as I take another sip of my meat.
I say no, but who am I? Except for chosen of God.
And I sip from my tankard as I, like, arrogantly, like, no, there's no question about it. It's kind of lean back, thinking, I've won this argument.
At which moment, Allison, you can see that a Eladrin arm just puts down one small shot glass and holds the other in his hand as Quinvale has walked up to you. The Eladrin that you guys have also seen last week, still wearing his complete battle leathers, what seems to be a large breastplate with a strip of leather over it, a protective arm guard on one hand, and like a half fingerless glove in the other, with two very thin blades on both sides as his weapon of choice, which are purely elven make, but eventually as they turn up to the end of the blade actually make a small curve, making them the form of what seems to be very thin axe-like blades. And with his hair beautifully put to one side as some sort of emo elf, he...
Elvis. Elvis elf.
Do you know that he is elf? So, with that, he holds his shot glass out to Allison and says, I believe that congratulations are in order.
Ah, Quincy.
Kink! Iro.
So how's the lady?
Right now, I have my evening off, as it seems that she is taking some rest.
Okay.
Ah, fair.
Yeah.
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 I wanted
So-
to thank you.
Well, I'm just one of the very different ways that Lovian actually gets some, well, foster kids, I
And,
think is the right word.
Let's just say that Lovian's kind of missing you. You might want to show up someday.
Yeah, I know.
I am Grakal.
I'm sure you are.
What is your name?
Name's Quinvale.
Quinvale.
Exactly that.
You know him.
Well, they've met him. We've talked briefly.
Yeah, we
with
talked
him.
earlier this week.
I
He-
kind of whispered to call.
Oh.
I was the one who actually introduced him to Lovian, his trainer for the last week. But I believe that this is your last evening, right? You are
It
sailing
is.
away tomorrow?
Yeah.
What do you think of my armor?
Looks good. Sturdy. Custom made.
myself.
I like it. Made it yourself?
Yeah.
Well, I know a lot of other Cathenian mercs that also create and maintain their own armor, and it never failed them once.
And have a look at this. And I show him the weapon.
Ooh.
This one I didn't make myself, but I did the engraving.
Cold iron.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
Oh, yeah, you
I'll
don't
let
like
you.
that, do
Yeah,
you?
no, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's all right.
I'm sorry.
Put it
Still
next
has
to
have some Fey heritage in me that stuff might have been poison to my sort of kind. So,
Yeah.
but it looks cool, like cold iron. You know, cool. I'm sorry. It's been a long day.
Yeah,
We
it's
get
been
it.
a long week. But those 18 hours a day of work,
Yeah.
they paid off.
Hey, recall was it right? What
Yes.
what you got there? As he points to your nice golden weapon combination.
Weapon. I use it to slay great monsters in name of Kurenau.
That's
You wish to hear of Kurenau?
no, doesn't really, but
You see where this is from, right?
yeah, that's Siri make, isn't it?
It is.
Yes.
You've got a big prize on your hands right there if they sold it to you. Better make good use of it.
Yes. I like almost offended. I grab the spear part, you know, casually like, and I show him the tip, and it's all bloodied and dirty, and like,
He takes another long sip of his drink and
Yes.
eventually just gets it away.
Of course.
It seems very well maintained by the blood of your enemies.
Yes. I feast upon them as well.
and I click it back.
I
Is that
think
legal?
it depends what he hit.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But I believe Gurkal's easily bored, and I noticed that he was a bit bored during my graduation. So, how about you guys actually spar?
Nah, I'm good.
No? Not in the
Nah.
mood?
Or chicken.
I had a. I did indeed have chicken earlier tonight.
Oh,
That's
man.
indeed correct, Iro.
Chicken is so nice.
Nah, I think kicking your butt was enough.
We can do one-on-one-on-one.
Oh God. Are you guys so thirsty?
What? Fight
That's
is
the idea.
yes, of course. Yes, we call fight.
Fine.
Only if you want to.
Well, why don't you guys fight then?
We could, but I feel like it's more fun if a lot of people join in.
Yeah, but one-on-one, that's like two people ganging up on one person.
No,
1v1 would be
I
better.
don't think we both will swing against each other too.
Iro, what do you think? I vote Allison versus Grakal.
I would be really interested in Allison versus Gurkal, to be honest.
Well, there we go.
Yes.
We haven't done this often, have we?
No, Gurkal previously, like, he didn't want to, he avoided the topic, kind
Didn't
of.
want to instigate it.
Yeah, he tried to avoid that. Like, you don't fight in the pack, you fight outside
Yeah.
of the pack, you know? But I feel like he's being goaded into this, and I feel like he's want to be goaded into this. So,
Oh, fine, I'll do it if you
Yeah.
guys want me to.
Oh,
and also
fine, I
he's
will
kind of
beat
tipsy at this
Allison's
point,
ass.
so I feel like also, you know, his impulse control's down. Yeah, he looks up.
Yes, always.
And with
alright.
Gurkal's cockiness, it's probably like, okay, I will beat Allison's ass. of course.
Fine. So, at that moment, Quinville takes out his cup, takes one big swig and empties it, and then just takes a look around. If you'll excuse me for a moment, as he steps up on the table and just begins to pronounce, "Ladies and gentlemen of the cleansing fountain, I, one of the Athenian mercs, have now procured a beautiful bit of entertainment to all of you. Here with us are two adventurers of the party known as the Pack. They have not only come to this town to slay hideous slavers, and with those names being called, the entire bar already says boo, 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 as you figure that a couple of these people might actually be just slavers here and here. But afterwards he says, and now for your entertainment, they will put their merit and put their might against each other. So, if all of you will gladly follow us outside to the courtyard where our beautiful sparring match will be taking place, me and the lovely Iro right over here will be taking your bets. Boom! And he
I
jumps
just
off the
take off
table.
like, fight, 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 fight.
No one joins us.
And everybody just like goes back to their drinks. No. As he
I
does-
can I make another intimidate check, see if I can keep up the streak?
Oh hell yeah, of course.
I just say, come!
Go
It's an
ahead.
angry come, you know?
Choice of words, man.
and become.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Sorry, that was not my. That's a 13, so I feel like that's.
It's appropriate.
Yeah.
Like everybody was already walking out, and then you just turn around and just yell at them for 1 second, like, Jesus, we're already going. What do you want of us? And with it, all of you walk outside.
I don't know why Allison keeps doing this. It's because one-on-one is not his forte.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. I don't really know how we like. You know what the fun part is? Like the best part about this. Usually, Gricol instigates these type of things, and he was just innocently drinking a beer, and suddenly everyone's like, "Who's gonna fight Gricol?" And I'm like, "What?"
And eventually, as you guys walk outside of the tavern into the courtyard, a couple of people are already following you, and you can already hear on the streets, "Hey, what's going on? This mercenary is gonna fight each other. Oh my God, who do you think is gonna win? What? Of course the large dragon is gonna win. Bitch, are you actually betraying your own species? He's an elf. We're gonna put our money on him." Oh, okay. Just walk up as Quinvale and Iroh, I believe. At least Quinvale is there. Come on, put your bets. Take your bets. Who's going to win? Allison or Gricol? Allison or Gricol? Yes, thank you very much. And all the bets are getting in there as a small crowd is now gathered around you as the evening mist is already descending.
So, Iroh, who needs to throw the match for you to make a big profit? Nah.
I already have my money set. I will see.
All right,
So
so
you have like 20 more hit points than I do.
all right. So, at this moment, as the two of you are gazing at each other at the middle of this small stone courtyard with a crowd of rowdy, half-drunken elves around you, I would like you both to roll if it's all just the same. Then for now we are going to go for perception checks because this is the default roll for initiative.
I feel like this is a typical perception roll. Total of 8.
For me, 18. So
18.
I start.
As far as my math goes, I do believe that 18 still outweighs 8 because there's a 1,
fine.
and the
Yeah.
1 is more than
Oh.
not 1.
So that's how numbers work.
Yep, that's how it goes. That's how it goes.
I believe
Oh,
so.
we should tell Hannah this.
Yeah, she still doesn't know.
Sorry.
We'll get it to her next week. Okay, so with that, as the two of you are staring at each other, I would say both of you already have your weapons out?
Yeah, definitely.
Like that seems like
Yeah.
something that both of you would already do.
appropriate.
All right. With just a few meters between each other, Allison, you are taking your first turn.
Yeah.
What do you do?
So we're not straight in front of each other.
No,
right?
I think that would be a weird way to start out a combat encounter, like just like faces against each other. That's
All right. In that case, I'll walk up. I'll try and feint, and I'll try and stab.
all right. So with
Do I
that,
have my shield raised?
Probably not.
if you don't have your shield raised, well, if you would have your shield raised, then Allison would have like his shield spell up and that sort of stuff. So
Yeah, but it would have faded
Yeah.
this turn for me already. So
Let's go with no then.
okay. So first a
a clean
feint
slate.
attack.
You move too quick for me.
whoosh.
Even against yours, this is still gonna fail for 13.
Against?
So the perception DC is 15.
Oh,
so
wow,
yeah.
Sorry,
and
buddy.
Yeah, that's alright. Like this is one thing I'm outsmarting you in, and it's like okay, no, it's still not happening. So I'll just try and stab you. Like basically, I'll try and twist my blade and just turn around on the ground. Just go low and just go for your ankles.
Okay.
With the blade coursing through the air for a
Yeah, that's gonna miss. That's a 19.
19.
Yeah, that's a miss on 22.
And with that, your blade catches Gricol's beautiful plate armor and just scratches off for a second.
All right, your turn.
All right.
All right. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna first raise my shield. So I get +2 AC. I'm gonna not yet going to go into a rage, but first I'm gonna make an intimidation check.
Go for it.
So as you bump into my shield, I just scream at you
Go
in
for
your
it.
face.
Yeah.
Like there's this drool and stuff, you know. There we go.
Let's see if I can keep my.
It's probably not gonna hit then. 16 against your will DC.
No,
Okay.
20 is my DC.
Yeah, figured. So then I'm just gonna make an attack.
Okay.
Woo!
Stabby stab.
26.
Yeah, that gonna hit.
Oof.
Yeah,
so
go for
with
it.
that, with your golden shield and spear out, the spear comes from behind your shield and pierces Allison. For how many points of damage?
Damage didn't go up. That's 7.
All right,
7 points of damage.
that was your turn.
That was my turn.
All right.
Shield raised, spear out, yelling in his face. Allison, you're up.
I'm just gonna troll, and just go, yeah.
In the meantime, Iroh's just yelling, "The elf took damage! Put your bets on the dragon! Come here, raise your bets!"
I'm
Go ahead and make a diplomacy check for me.
I'm gonna try and feign against you again. Again.
Again a 6?
Yeah.
Oh,
And 11
Again.
for me.
But now I'm gonna twin feign, so my secondary attack is automatically against your flat-footed DC. But still,
-2, right?
yeah, it's gonna be hard for me to hit you.
see how it
Natural
goes.
1.
Oh, god damn it.
This is not your day. Yeah, that one goes to dice. Still.
And the second
Oh
one,
my god!
natural 2.
Those were a 1 and a 2 in a row.
Yeah.
Like this is
Damn,
gonna
man.
this is gonna go to my head, but in character I mean. But
So with that, Allison just twirls his blade and king, king, catches your shield both times.
Like, I don't know how this is happening, but
Yeah.
I always...
You only have single digits on your die, man.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
It happens, yeah.
yep.
All right. So with that, Grakal, we're back to you. As people are still putting bets on Allison and Grakal, respectively.
There you go.
Yeah. I'm gonna first just make an attack.
All right.
Or shall I go into? No, I don't feel like Gurkal would go into a rage here. Like he wants to keep us cool. So he's just gonna first just get a little shield bash in there.
All right.
Just as you're coming up, you're twirling, and
Taunting
he's
me a
just
bit.
kind of confused. He wants to stab, but he doesn't want to like get close to the blade, so he just moves forward with his whole body. Just throws
Makes
his weight
sense.
into there.
Makes a lot of sense.
You dodge it. I get a 13.
Yeah, definitely dodge, yeah.
Okay.
Just whiffing in the air.
Yeah, and as part of that process, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna make another intimidation check.
Okay.
So I raise my shield again, and as I just say, "Come on, Allison, you can do this," as I kind of just mock you half. Same roll, by the way, 13. So no.
So as that is happening, you don't even have time to actually laugh because he's instantly going for you.
Okay, go ahead.
Hit me.
So first try and yeah, I'll try and feign again. Let's see if I.
Again, single digits.
That was a 3. So 1,
There we go.
a 2, and a
3.
3.
Okay.
Let's see if the
We're
4.
counting up. We're counting
Yeah.
up. We're getting there.
So I'll use my twin attack, twin feint. So that's a natural 5 for 15.
Jesus, man.
And a natural 10 for a
Double digits!
15. So
double
yeah,
digits.
that's still not gonna hit. So it's your turn again.
So it
Alright.
seems that these two combatants are equally matched, both having seen each other's combat styles through and through already. Allison just darting here and there, slashing Grakal every time with his shield, boom, boom, catching all the hits. Grakal, not really sure how to get close to this whirlwind of flashing steel, just tries to bash him out of the way and yells into his face, but not enough to actually get those hits in. Grakal, back to you.
It's gonna take 2 hours.
Miss.
Like, do I
miss,
get penalties for doing ranged attack while in melee?
Does it
Think-
matter? Unless you have a volley trait.
No, in general, I would, if I were to have the attack opportunity,
I would
then I
provoke.
would, yeah, you would
Okay.
provoke. That's as far as I know.
Okay.
I haven't read anything about it.
Okay. No, I'm. That's fair. So yeah. Okay. So
What's it
what
gonna
I'm
be?
gonna do is I'm gonna I'm gonna make first a throw attack with my spear.
Sure.
Ah, just
So I throw my spear at you. Okay. I roll high. 26.
Yeah, hits.
so with that you just unleash your spear as it pierces Allison's shoulder.
Yeah, for 10 damage.
Oof.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So the spear flies past you. It returns to my hand at the end of my turn. At the end of my
Oh,
turn.
sorry.
I have a free hand now. I grapple.
Oh, snap.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I was like, I have to grapple him, but I gotta drop the shield, but I don't want to drop the shield. And I was like, but what if the spear's returning? So like, okay.
But how can you grapple me and catch her blade again.
Oh, I
you need
can't.
the free
No,
hand
I
for
would
that?
need to let you go afterwards.
Maybe
Yeah.
catch it through you, like.
So basically, you're just gonna use this
Or
grapple to.
no, I'm not. Sorry, I'm gonna try and trip you.
Okay,
Oh,
that
trip,
makes more
right,
sense.
right,
Yeah.
I'm
right.
gonna specifically try and trip you.
Yep, that makes more sense.
I'm mixing up the terms, which means that I go against your reflex DC.
Okay.
And if I, well, we'll see if I hit that. For 23.
23 just makes it.
So I have a success. You fall and land prone.
Okay.
Oh hell yeah!
So basically,
nice.
I throw, and as you're hurt or you're just trying to not get
Go
hit,
off balance a bit.
yeah, I just like pick you up for a moment by the collar. I have to let go to catch again, but you drop to the floor.
All right.
And
do you
I
still
can't-
have an action?
Yeah, which I use to put my shield like the point of my shield like right in between your legs. It hits the ground as I just lean behind it.
And with that, as Grokal is standing there with his empty hand, his spear returns to him, ready to attack once more on his next turn.
All right.
Right now,
All right.
we're back to you, Allison, as you're lying on the ground, as the crowd goes, ooh, as Allison is thrown to the ground by Grokal.
As Allison's, basically break dance, gonna throw up. Stand on one hand for a bit, just push himself up and try and kick you in the face as he does this. Can I do this? Yeah, I can do this dexterity. I can definitely do this
Yeah, you
dexterity.
can do an unarmed attack.
Yeah, I'll try and hit you in the
Okay,
face.
nice.
Nice.
For a natural 3 again.
Oh god fucking damn it, man.
So for our
man.
viewers and listeners, he has in this combat, I think, rolled exclusively 1s, 2s, and 3s, maybe like a 10.
1 10.
Yeah, one-
One
one
and
ten.
1 5.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
110, a 5, and jeez, what the
So doing that, I stand up and I'll use my shield spell. So I just basically throw around and this barrier creates in front of me.
defending them just a little bit more. And we're back to Grokal.
Yeah.
Standing there at the ready with your spear and shield raised. What do you do?
So I see the shield. You know, I recognize it now, and I smile as I gather my own spiritual energy, my magic to my spear, as it lights up. You know, I'm just like, I'm gonna Falcon Punch that shield with my spear.
And right now it seems that the dragon goddess of the moon is just giving you a little glimpse of magic as the clouds part just for a second as a ray of silver moonlight hits on
Kali
your golden
Ka is
spear.
with me tonight, and that might no, it won't. 20.
Nope, 20
20.
misses.
No,
And
well,
again, as is fashion,
yeah.
Max only rolls lower than 5 for all his rolls, and
And
you
I-
always roll bad when you actually enchant your spear.
Yeah, when I use my magic.
Unless it's
It's
against the
thematics.
target he really needs to kill.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
It
unless
happened one time. It happened
Yeah,
one
the
time.
Maddox,
Yeah.
I did so much
So,
damage.
but with this, you actually have this beautiful clash of magics. As Allison is twirling his blade, getting up this magical barrier, your magical energy of your spear coalesces, and as you thrust at him, your moonlight energy clashes with the arcane barrier and just explodes in this complete beautiful sparkle of purple, silver, and all different types of arcane sparkles as it flutters down, and the entire crowd goes silent for a moment. Until they then begin to yell in
Nice.
unison as they love the display of combat and magic that is dished out before them.
So it's my
Nice.
turn again? Or
No, I
it's yours?
still have one action, which I use again to raise my shield.
All right.
All right.
So I'll rinse and repeat. I'll try and feint.
Okay.
I'm gonna use another die again.
So many
this is
D20s.
my
So
this is my
many-
fifth
I have
die
one.
already.
So, what do we think that are the chances that this is going to be a 5 or lower on the die?
1 and 4.
I would say
I would say half.
I would say 3 and 4, but yeah, okay. Let's see it. Let's see it.
14.
Ah,
so that's a
14.
21. So I probably
Still miss, sorry.
No, that's a feint attack.
Oh, sorry.
So that's
okay.
against your
Yeah,
perception
that-
DC.
Then definitely, yeah,
All right.
easy.
As the shower of sparkles is coming down, Allison is already moving through it,
towards
and you just
I'm
lose
still,
him for a second.
No, I'm distracted. I love that. I'm like, whoa. Like, we could do this all along?
So basically what Allison then does is trying to feint and then twirl around and basically jump towards you, just behind you, push himself up against the air again and decide to stab you in the back.
He just tries to twirl around you.
So he's going to use guidance on himself to try and hit once, damn it! Natural 16.
Oh.
That's 27.
Oh.
Against your,
That's a hit.
That's a hit.
That's
It's a hit, guys. It's a hit. So with that, Grokal dies.
Yeah, yeah. I think we're just gonna carry on and we both fall at the end or something.
I don't know. I think we're already like through half of your HP.
13 points of damage, but I can still heal.
Fair. I still have elixirs of life.
I yell from the crowd. No healing allowed. The elf hit. That's on Ellison.
Oh, go ahead and make another diplomacy check for me.
Again, and that's one.
Natural one.
This session, guys.
They don't really seem to be taking a lot of notice of you, as there is this mercenary standing inside you, this Eladrin, just yelling at the top of his lungs, getting all these bets in, and eventually you make eye contact with Quinville for a second and he just winks at you. And then goes on taking notes and getting in his monies.
Fair, fair.
Alright.
Alright, that was my turn. So I at least got a hit in. Do we want to continue this?
I don't know. I'm kind of enjoying this.
Alright,
To be honest.
then we can continue this.
So back to you then,
I'm
Grokal.
kind of curious what's going to happen. Because I feel like this is going to be perfect. This is the moment I go into a rage. I'm hit. So
As you get stabbed in the back by Allison, literally.
And, like, this isn't like a literal rage. Grokal isn't angry, but he's just enjoying it so much. And now that his blood has been shed, you know, he feels the dragon fire burning, and he just
Yes!
yeah, he goes harsh. He starts
Oh, yeah.
attacking with more
Passion.
vigor.
Yeah, vigor.
Yeah, so I'm gonna first just make a normal attack roll with my spear again, which won't hit. And
So we both have decently high AC, and we both, just have average to hit. So it's like,
yeah, it's interesting.
And you're both rolling.
really shit.
like
terrible.
shit, yeah.
Yeah, I drop my shield, and I grapple.
Okay.
This time, I do actually mean grapple.
As the large, gauntleted, full-plated dragonborn arm reaches out to you for a total of
Natural 2.
and just whiffs in the air, but still with a spear in his hands.
Which
Yeah.
is great, because my fortitude DC is shy.
Yeah, I know. Like that's.
All right.
I figured that's more the word. Okay, then I still have one action. Dropping shields free, right?
Yeah. That
So then I'm just gonna go again for intimidate, as you see that I am in a rage now.
and this large dragonborn claw just raked your face almost, but nope.
No.
He just yells, and you already know the shenanigans of this large dragonbone figure. You're not really that frightened. You know
Yeah.
this is all fun and games.
Yeah,
All right,
exactly.
we're back to you now.
Meanwhile, I'll pee in my pants. I'm gonna try and feint against you again for a 20. So
Yeah.
I'll probably get a feint in, and then I'll use my twin feint attack. Orange one is the first one, which is gonna miss, and the second one is gonna be also a miss. So yeah. your
So
turn.
again, you guys are just whiffing air
Yeah.
and armor against armor as you guys are knowing each other's fighting patterns too well, it seems.
Yeah,
Grokal,
we fought so many times together.
Yeah.
yeah, you've learned a lot.
Try that again. Grapple.
All right.
Like we switched. Natural 3.
Natural 3. So, with that, the grapple just whiffs in the air once more.
Like, I'm too nimble, man.
Yeah. And I turn around again like this whoosh, and I'm gonna. I'm just gonna.
Gonna stabby stab.
You're gonna do the stabby stab? All right.
Stabby stab. I'm gonna, stabby stab.
Going for the stabby stab.
-5 though, so 20.
20 misses.
20
Yeah.
misses. As the spear also just whiffs in the air and then retracts back to your arm.
Then I use my. It's not. So I click. As my last action, I just throw away my spear, and I grab the shield.
Okay.
All right.
I switch back to my shield. I don't raise it yet.
All right.
Iro starts to chant like, "We want blood! We want blood! We want
As the entire crowd is now also getting a little bit like, it's getting a little bit cold out here. Want to go back
Yeah.
to the bar?
I'll try and feint again for an 18, so that probably, that works out.
All right.
Then the first attack is gonna be a 20. You're flat-footed.
Oh, then yes.
All right, that's awesome. So the first one hits. Second one is gonna be natural 2.
And the dice goes away again.
10 points of damage.
Nice.
So Allison again, just twirling, darting, feinting, and then just with one fell swoop, just gets your neck just a little bit. Like, ow, fuck, that hurt, man.
The,
So,
the
was
crowd
there-
begins to cheer. Like,
All the crowd goes in rage as well.
Was there water here?
Right now you're just in the middle of a courtyard.
Okay. Okay. I think I'm just gonna. I'm gonna intimidate you.
Okay.
All right.
There we go.
Yeah.
So that's 26 against your.
I'm finally frightened.
But
So you
now,
are frightened
with the
one.
blood that is welling up from Krakal's neck, he touches it for a second with his hand, and then he gives you like this death glare that you already think, hey, this was fun and games, right? And then he just leaves out this roar that, oh god, maybe it's not games.
Okay, and now I'm thinking, oh, so that's how they feel.
I don't like this at all. All right, so with that, Allison is frightened.
What does frightened one do again? -1 on everything?
Minus one on
Yeah,
everything,
-1 on
that's
everything that matters at this moment.
Yeah. Okay. So now I make my grapple check,
true. Okay.
and I roll an 18 against
Yeah,
your.
that makes it.
Nice.
grappled now
There we
too.
go. So you are. It's just a normal success, right?
Uh-huh.
So you're grabbed until my until the end of my next turn.
Right.
Okay.
Until unless I move or you escape. Then I have one more action, which I use to raise my shield. Like I'm just holding you up
Okay.
and my shield in between, and I'm gonna like dash them together next turn.
Grabbed. Am I flat-footed?
Uh,
I think I am, right?
believe
And
so.
I need a DC 5 flat check to do anything?
Yes, with the manipulate objects thingies, and attack rolls aren't part of that.
No?
Nope.
Oh, that's
Yeah, it's very
interesting.
weird. It's very weird.
I would have figured that would also. Okay, interesting. In that case, I'm just gonna try and yeah, I'm immobile, but I'll just dance in my spot. I guess I'll just twirl around in my spot a little bit. So
Shimmy about a little bit.
Yeah. I'll,
Alright, go ahead.
I'll try and feint again.
Very well.
For a 24, so the feint succeeds. First hit is a 23
and I'm
and flat-footed, so that
Then
probably
yes.
hits. Second attack is a miss. I'll just use that die
So with
again.
the large blade, he just like twirls
points
it
of
around
damage.
once, and then the second one doesn't faint anymore, and actually just scratches you at the side of the head.
Nice. So you're just like flailing in my hands.
Yep.
Okay.
So,
So
how many hit points do you guys have left?
Yeah, I have like 23.
29.
29.
You did a lot more damage.
Yeah.
You're flat-footed until the end of my turn. Let's see. So, and are you still frightened, or is that?
That reduces with 1 at the end of your turn.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're no longer frightened.
I'm afraid not.
So I'm gonna bash you first.
Whack!
Just a shield bash in the face.
That's a 20.
Ooh,
So
there you go.
that's- Yeah.
As you scratch Grakal's head one more time, his rage billows up and he just smacks the two things in both of his hands together.
It's a D6? Wow.
Shield
Yeah.
bash. Yeah.
Yep.
So
Oh, wow. 2D6?
Yeah, because I crit it.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
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 Yes.
Yeah, I was like, wait,
am I
what?
doing this right? Okay, yeah. No, fair. So that's I rolled 6 on my 2d6. Then I add +4 for strength, +2 for rage.
And
so
double
that
that.
becomes 12.
Yeah.
And then again 6, so 18 damage.
18 points of damage with one critical hit shield bash. And with that, you can already see that the focus that was in Allison's eyes goes away for just a second as he gets a very, very nice little bump on his head by your shield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I then use I grapple again, or I continue grappling. So I make
Right.
another check. This time with -5 because I am. This is my second attack.
Right.
But you're still flat-footed.
The crowd sees this shield bash and they're just collectively like, ooh.
I don't roll very high though.
Okay.
I roll I roll below 10.
Okay, yeah.
All right. So with that, as you're shield bashing against Allison, he takes this
I just
moment
drop him.
and then to slip out of your hands, and at the end of your turn, he is free from your grasp.
So, is this my turn now?
Boom! Now yes.
As his shield again is set.
So, what's
within
your
face.
perception DC?
15.
Okay, so last time on my feint attack, I rolled an 18, which goes to a 25, which is a critical success. So you're still flat-footed this whole turn.
Ooh, snap.
So right now, I'm just gonna try and crit fish, and I'm just gonna try and make 3 attacks.
But you know that there are no natural 20s on your dice, right?
Yeah, I know,
Like,
but I'm
okay.
still gonna
Yeah,
try.
okay, no, okay, fair enough.
First, second, third.
All right, let's see.
The first is at least quite decent.
For a total of?
22 with flat-footed.
Then yeah, hit.
Okay, and the rest will miss.
As again, Allison's sword is just twirling through the air, trying to make these nice little cuts in Grakal. He gets a lot of hits in, but the hits of Grakal are just so goddamn massive. It's like the nimble fighter against like the big powerhouse bulky dragon right over here.
So you get 13 points of damage.
All right, and with that, you can already see that both parties of this combat encounter are getting low to their lowest hit points. One good hit away from going down, each of them.
Yeah.
To go back to Grakal,
So,
shield
like,
in hand.
Yeah, as you're attacking, like some distance has grown between us as I'm moving back from your attacks, and I just like thump, 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 run at you for another intimidation check,
Okay.
which is 22.
Yeah, that's
So,
gonna work out.
frightened one.
Oh. As the crowd just goes like quiet for a second, as you can only hear the bulking steps of the
direction
large
that-
dragonborn.
The direction that Grakal runs in, the people just kind of scatter at that point.
Oh crap!
And I just like I grab my shield by the side as well with my hand, like the sharp side even, and I just smash at you.
Yeah,
That's it.
there you go.
Lovely.
That's it.
That's a 26.
Yeah,
and
that
just-
hits.
Yeah.
And with a large thud, the shield just goes. And the crowd goes wild as Allison has hit the deck.
And I just scream after which I gain clarity because combat is over. I was raging. Like I honestly, literally, like I can't be held responsible for
No,
that.
definitely not. No.
So I'm just like, listen.
You barely didn't stab me to death.
Yeah. Because it was more convenient to slap, you know? Like.
And with that, Grakal goes over to Allison, pumps in his healing spell into him to make sure that he makes it out alive from this sparring match.
As I lay down on the ground.
Allison, man now. And I pull him up.
Quinvale walks up to you with a hefty coin pouch. Good fight, guys. Good fight.
Yeah.
That was a good fight.
We shall slay so many monsters.
I'm very much looking forward to it.
Oh, we most
That took a
definitely
lot
will.
longer than I expected.
Grakal drunk.
Fair enough.
And with that, as the crowd slowly but surely goes back inside, the rest of you also complete your conversations and things of this evening and eventually go back to your floating tavern where you take your last good long rest.
Oh,
You
last
also-
night with Donald.
You also say goodbye to Donald, your tavern keep, who has made it very safe for you to actually stay in this swamp city. And after the break, we will be setting sail further south,
Yeah.
board of the Bellathrone.
That will be.
So,
See you soon.
see you back in 15 minutes. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
This is
So
So
it's your
you-
turn.